Percent of a number. All right, I'm going to show you two ways that you can figure out percent of a number, and you decide which one you like best. Okay, the first way is changing the percent, like we learned in our last lesson, change the percent to a decimal. And the way we do that is to divide by 100. So remember, the decimal is here. We're going to divide by 100. So we go 1, 2. We then change 67% to a decimal, 0.67. Of means to multiply, and then we bring back the 90. And then all you have to do, plug into your calculator, 0.67 times 90. Go ahead and plug that into your calculator. What? You don't have it with you? Go get it. Pause and then plug that in and see what you get. All right, 60.3 is your answer. And that's one way you can find percent of a number. Another way, for those of you who really love proportions, is to set up a proportion and then crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. And the way you do that is you take whatever the percent is, you put that over 100, and then we have what we call is over of. I'll explain what that means in a second. Okay, so what you're going to do now, this is the outline basically, and then you just fill in the parts that you are given. So you are given 67%. So that 67 goes where the percent is. So 67 goes on top, the 100 is always on the bottom. Equals is over of. Well, what do we have? We put the number that comes after either the word is or of. We don't have an is, so that's going to be our X. We do have an of, and it's 90. And now we crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. 90 times 67 divided by 100. And if you plug that into your calculator, you're going to get 60.3. So those are two ways. If you already know how to change a percent into a decimal, you might think, wow, that really is super easy. And you might want to do it this way. If you really like crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy, setting up proportions, then what you'll need to do is just memorize this. And you might want to memorize that anyway, because we'll be using it later. Percent over 100 equals is over of. All right. Those are the two ways. And I'm going to do, I'm going to let you practice. So will you deciding on whichever way that you like, let's take 33% of 80. Go ahead and figure out what 33% of 80 is using one of the two ways I just showed you. Pause and then put it back on when you're ready. All right, there you go. Whichever way you chose, how'd you do? 26.4 is our answer. Okay. All right, well, you may see percent of a number in written form, but don't let that confuse you. It's the same thing. They're just asking in written form, what number is 5% of 150? And you're going to do exactly the same thing as we did before. Just ignore this stuff. What number is, and do the same thing you did. 5%. You need to go 1, 2. We've made an egg carton, so we have to put our egg inside there. So we're going to put 0.05 of means to multiply 150. That's how I would set that up. Now remember, the percent over 100 equals is over of. Well, here they're saying what number is. What number is? That's where the X is going to go. And the percent, the 5 would go on top. The 100 never changes, so this would be 5 over 100 equals what number is, I don't know, and of 150. So those were the two ways you would set it up. Here, 150 times 5 divided by 100. Here, it's just 0.05 times 150. And if you plug that into your calculator, like I am doing right now, we get the answer of 7.5. All right, let's take a look at this one. It's the same thing. This time, though, they put the percent. They're asking the question with the numbers in the front. 16% of 85 is what number? Doesn't matter however way they say it, we're still going to do the same thing. We change this to a decimal, 1, 2, so 0.16 of means to multiply 85. If you like the proportion, you take the percent, always over 100, is over of, we don't know what that is, the of they're telling us is 85. Okay, now it doesn't matter which way, you're going to get the same answer. Plug that into your calculator, 0.16 times 85, and what do we get? No matter which way you did it, you should get 13.6. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether it's written out in words or if it just has the numbers. What about something like this where we have a whopper of a percent, 480% of 35? Doesn't matter, we still do the same thing. We start over here because this is where the decimal would be. We go over 2 spots because we're dividing by 100, and it's going to be 4.8. Now, 4.80, but do we need that 0? We don't. It's not going to make any difference. So really, this turns into 4.8 of 35. Okay, and plug that in. You can set up the proportion, 480. Now you have to keep the 0 here because you're putting it over 100, equals x over 35. Go ahead, I want you to plug both of these things into your calculator to show you that it doesn't matter which way you do it, whether we've got the 0 here because we have to have it since we're just putting this as a fraction, and then the 4.8. Work out both of them. Okay, you should have got 168 no matter how you did it. Even if you would have put that 0 there, you still would have got the same correct answer. It's just that you don't need it. All right, folks, really that's all there is on finding percent of a number. I'm going to give you some 4 problems to work out, and then after that I think you'll be ready for our practice tomorrow. So go ahead and work out the problems that will come up on the next page, and then check and see how you did. Okay, here you go. 5 problems. Get out your calculator, write down the problem, show all your work because that's still important whether you're doing it for me or for yourself, and write these down on your slip of paper. When you're done, click play and see how you did. Good luck. Here are the answers. If you got anything wrong, go back, check your work, make sure you didn't make a silly mistake, make sure you plugged in the right numbers, make sure that you counted back 2 spots to change it to a decimal. This one, maybe you forgot that you need to put an egg in the egg carton. Make sure on this one that it was 0.232 times 125 if you got that one wrong. And on this one, you didn't need the 0, but if you had it, it still would have been okay. 0.4 times 75. All right, if you have any questions, write them down and ask tomorrow morning. And I will, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.